When you launch into Cyberpunk 2077, one of the first big decisions that you have to make is, what life path will you choose? A life path is a system used in the character generation within Cyberpunk 2077. It is a way that the player gets to choose and define the backstory of their characters that they are going to play as. You will have 3 defining life path options for your character's backstory that you as a player will get to choose from. The life path defines where you begin the game. It offers 3 varied opening chapters as well as offering additional benefits, quests and dialogue options throughout the game. The 3 distinct life paths you get to choose from are the Nomad, the Corporal and the Streetkid. Just as an example of the consequences of your choice, let's take into account the relationship between you and Jackie Wells. How you meet Jackie is determined by your chosen life path. If you choose Corporate, for example, Jackie is already a trusted friend and partner. If you choose the life path of Streetkid for V, then Jackie becomes an ally after a botched deal, and for the Nomad, they team up after a messy fight in the Badlands. Another thing that we've seen that is unique in each life path seems to be the custom message that V gets in the mirror. For the Streetkid, V got the message, no future. This probably reflects the sentiments that many street kids have. Most are born there, live there and die there, without no one ever really knowing who they were outside of their district. For the Nomad, the message reads, turn back. Possibly a warning for you to return back to the clan that you're leaving at, before being engulfed by the lure of Night City. For the Corporal, the message reads, trust no one, which, in corporal life, is just good practice if you don't want to end up dead. So, first we're going to look at the Nomad life path. As a Nomad, V leaves their family behind and heads for the bright lights of Night City in search of work. Nomads are part of a clan, or a family, that roam the Badland deserts around Night City. Although Night City doesn't officially recognise the Badlands as the 7th district, people who made this place their home certainly do. As a Nomad, you live with the backdrop of derelict oil fields, rotting eastern landfills irrigated by acid rain, and, in the southern desert, many clans that scavenge the desert for resources. Life as a Nomad is hard. Roaming the Badlands, looting scrapyards, raiding fuel depots are all just a way to survive. But despite these hardships, honesty and integrity are extremely important to the Nomads, and they also foster a love of freedom inherently. 2 prominent Nomad groups that you might come across that are inhabiting the Badlands. These 2 gangs or factions are called the Wraiths and the Alvacaldos. The Wraiths are the largest group of the rogue Nomads. This group travels mostly at night and preys on the sleeping and the unwary. Their leader, Dogkiller, is also rumoured to wear the clothing of a human skin. They have a long history of frequent conflict and warring with the other Nomad group, the Alvacaldos. Unlike their aggressive rivals, the Alvacaldos are a bit more approachable and are more open to making deals with V. Despite Nomads often being found in groups, you as a player will start off the prologue alone in the Badlands. Having turned your back on your clan, who are called the Backers Clan, you decide to head towards the bright lights of Night City in search of work and maybe a new life. Unfortunately, on your way to Night City, your car breaks down, and you are stuck seeking help of a local mechanic. Nomad's culture are savvy when it comes to automotive repair, which gives V an option to fix it. A street kid or a corporate in this position may not have been able to repair the car, or might have been scammed by the mechanic into paying extra for a bodged job. Here you will also meet a sheriff who protects the remote town from corruption and crime. You will also meet Jackie Wells here, where you will team up to bring some precious cargo into the city. Unfortunately, this situation escalates when Arasaka guards surround V and Jackie in their car, demanding that corporate property be returned. This results in a chase through the Biotechnica factory on the outskirts of the city. After the chase, the 2 find shelter in a garage and open the mysterious package. Inside is a live iguana. In the world of Cyberpunk, there is very few naturally born domestic animals left in the world, which makes this iguana a highly valuable property. In the city, Jackie will show you around town and introduce you to the who's who in his social circle. This is why I will be choosing Nomad on my first playthrough, because I want to experience the city from the first time as an outsider. I want to have these custom Nomad responses that you have here when yourself and Jackie are going into the afterlife. I want to learn the who's who and where's where in the city while playing with a character who's also learning that for the first time. This would be a stark contrast to the next life path, which is that of a comfortable, well-paid corporate agent. As a corpo, V is most at home in the boardroom after rising up the corporate ladder of Arasaka. This will often give V the edge when it comes to business deals, as you'll be able to read people and read between the lines when trying to do business with them. The prologue for the corpo starts off with V being an up-and-coming employee working for the mega corporation Arasaka. They are working under Arthur Jenkins in the counterintelligence division of the mega corporation. Unfortunately, Arthur has his eyes on a Director of Special Operations promotion that was recently handed out to his rival Susan Abernathy. This might be a muddy situation for V to be in, and few people in the corporate world ever leave with their lives. It is common practice for corporate agents to bend the rules, exploit secrets, and weaponize information. It's not a fair game to be in, and in the corporate world, backstabbing is commonplace. You'll start out in the Arasaka Tower, where you'll be able to explore the fast-paced, neo-militaristic megacorp from the inside. This is where you'll meet up with Agent Jenkins and begin your story within the corporate world. After getting worried about Arthur's plan, you decide to confide in your old friend Jackie Wells, who you meet at Lizzie's bar. Unfortunately for you though, Abernathy discovers the plan Jenkins was forming to take her out, and sends several Arasaka agents to intercept you at Lizzie's bar. The agents were ordered to kill V, but can be convinced not to by V's friend Jackie Wells. The corporate Lifepath provides a lot of insights into the twisted corporate life of the city, and as such I think this will be perfect for my second playthrough. I want to learn about them for the first time as an outsider, as a nomad, but once I got my feet wet in the city, I really want to see how it works from the inside. The final Lifepath you can choose is that of the Streetkid. As a Streetkid, you have spent most of your life in Night City. You know the streets, the gangs, the fixers, the small-time pushers, and the slang that goes through the streets. You have a solid ear to the ground when it comes to what the lower life aspects of the city are saying, which could open up some custom dialogue with favourable opportunities later on in the game when dealing with your neighbourhood gangs. In the prologue, V is returning home from Atlanta, but you grew up in Night City as a kid, so you know the city like the back of your hands. Your journey will begin in El Coyote Coyo, which is a dive bar in Haywood, where you've got plenty of friends with connections. You'll decide to help out a bartender who is settling a debt. A connection you meet as a street kid early on is Padre. He is an old friend of V's and an experienced fixer with his own personal driver. He is a dangerous man, but he and V are longtime friends. He'll put you on the way of settling the debt for the bartender. You can clear the debt by acquiring a high-end car called the Erendite from a high-tier corporal. Kirk Sawyer is another connection you'll meet who will help you on this task. Unfortunately, somebody else has their eyes on this Erendite car, and this is where you'll meet your new friend, Jackie Wells. To give you an idea of the different custom responses you'll have as a street kid, when you meet Meredith Stout for the first time, you won't have any custom responses to her, as you're not used to dealing with this level of higher-ups in corporal life. But then, when you meet with the Maelstrom gang, you'll have a custom response when they offer you to hit the drug, because you know their culture. This makes them like you more, and you can even get to complete that mission without getting into a fight with the Maelstrom gang. You can instead pit the corpos and the Maelstrom against each other, and avoid all conflict altogether for yourself. Overall, I think the option of choosing your own life path really helps you make the gameplay experience truly unique to you. It also gives you a lot of replayability value for this game. Because Cyberpunk 2077 is a role-playing game, you'll also be able to build custom characters with different skill sets. So each mission can be approached in a variety of ways. So you could build a stealthy hacking netrunner that sneaks in quietly and efficiently to get the job done. Or you could make a trigger-happy solo who hits all challenges head-on and faces them with his weapons blazing. I think for me, I'll be playing as a solo nomad on my first playthrough. This is cause I want to experience Night City for the first time as an outsider. I want my custom responses to be similar to what I would have in real life, being introduced to different gangs and cultures for the first time. I think for my second playthrough it'll be that of a ruthless, stealthy corporate assassin who just goes in quiet and obliterates everything. And that's what gets me really excited for this game. It's the possibilities. The fact that you can choose how you want to play the game, how you want to approach different missions. But what will you choose? Who will you be? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please do consider leaving a comment below and leaving a like, as it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you really like this content, why not consider becoming a subscriber? It's free, and hitting the bell makes sure that you get all the notifications as soon as I post a video. I appreciate all the support for this channel so far, and really looking forward to seeing you all in Night City.